unfortunately, I didn't get to poke my head in and see your reaction for NXT Homecoming. NXT Homecoming was a lot of fun. The biggest thing I think coming out of that is the announcement that we've got Obafemi Trick Williams next week, title for title.
Yes.
And it's stirred up a lot of frustration, which has reinvigorated something that you and I have talked a lot about. Sooner or later, there's going to be an NXT versus TNA pay-per-view. And it seems like they're actually doing it now because
Yeah.
the whole relationship so far, and it's all storyline, so people getting out of bent out of shape like it's real can sit down and touch grass for a second. But everything that's gone has gone one way. Somebody from NXT won the women's title. Somebody from NXT won the men's title. You
Yeah.
know, they had Joe Hendry at WrestleMania, but then other people will say, "Oh yeah, but that's because they're trying to steal him," which isn't a thing. You can't own people. We stopped doing that quite a
But
bit
they
ago.
feel like they're
Uh,
poaching talent. Yeah.
yeah, but the only thing is okay, we're not gonna go on that diatribe. Funniest thing is about that, as far as literally signing over talent since the beginning of the WWE TNA deal, more have gone to AEW and been
Yeah.
misused incredibly.
Oh, yeah.
We're gonna
Oh,
talk
yeah.
about that later. But everything that people say, "Oh, the deal's bad, WWE's using them, rah rah rah," they're gonna use that mentality for the story because the whole idea that you've got two NXT talents on an NXT show fighting over the TNA title. If you
Yeah.
were in TNA in storyline, you'd be like, "Come on, guys, what the fuck?" Especially if you're Santana,
Yeah.
because he's set up for a title shot at what is it, Bound for
Bound for
Glory.
Glory, yeah. So now he's getting stuck waiting to see who he's even going to face because Trick
But if you
basically
saw
kidnapped the
it,
title.
if you stayed on the NXT Homecoming hashtag,
Yes.
everybody was coming for them.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody. Mustafa Ali was, Cedric Alexander was, Mike Santana was, the Iconics were, or sorry, the Inspiration
So before we get
were.
too far away, I'm gonna have you pause here for 1 second because my quick thoughts on Homecoming. It was very fun. I had a really unique kind of perspective brought forth onto me because I got to see the perspective from two different angles. I talked to one
Okay.
fan that did not watch any Black and Gold. They came in like just after like 2.0 was up and running, thought it was ridiculous, then came back and now are enjoying it a lot. Then I had a
Okay.
couple of fans that were diehards that have been there since it was a game show. And seeing both sides enjoy this in such a similar yet unique way. One that didn't watch previously really enjoyed certain aspects, but was like, DIY, they're nothing special. And I'm like, because you've only seen them really on SmackDown. They're great as a tag
Yeah.
team, but you haven't seen what we saw, the storytelling, the betrayal, all of it. It was beyond excellent. So were they heavy in the nostalgia? Yes, but they didn't do it because they
Yeah.
needed a pop. It was because it made sense with the Homecoming story they were telling, the way they presented
I
it.
will never understand. Sorry to cut
Yeah,
you off.
no, go.
I will never understand, "Oh, they only did that for the pop." You should be doing everything for the pop.
Well, people say, "Oh,
My
it's only the pop. Like, there's no substance.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
no." But there was. They had a
But I used
narrative,
to
a
say
throughput all night long.
when the Wednesday Night War was going on, right? And even afterwards, when you had the occasional, "Oh, AEW had to move to Tuesdays for a night," or whatever,
Yeah.
and they would both load their shows. Please go back, everybody listening to me right now, there's an old NXT review that I did solo, and it's one of my favorite rants I've ever done. We were talking about it offline.
Yes.
There is a there is a podcast episode called, if I'm not mistaken, NXT beats AEW, the ratings, the sorry, NXT beats AEW, the ratings, the demo, and the moral high ground. That's what the
Mm,
episode is called.
there we go.
And it's just when
What a
they went
name.
head to head, and they went ridiculously head to head. They postponed the debut of Edge in AEW to go up
Yeah.
against NXT, which is a little bit ridiculous. And they did a bunch of other stuff. And they had Cody on there for a night. His dad was really formative in the beginning of NXT. It made
He was a
sense, and
huge
he was
part of it.
still
Yeah.
relative, but he was still relatively new. Like his return was still relatively new and all that kind of thing. But every time that they went head to head, even during the Wednesday Night War as well, the criticism you got from the other side, "Oh, we've announced this really cool match. Oh, we've announced this really cool concept. Oh, we've got this person visiting for the night and whatever."
Yeah.
And their
We're bringing
response,
this back. We're doing this. Whatever it is, they
yeah,
listen to
whatever,
fans.
whether it was something with some depth to it or whether it was just something for a pop on the night, and the response was always, "Well, they're only doing that so you'll watch."
No shit. That's the point.
That's
Yeah.
literally the mindset of putting together a show. Now,
but people
sorry,
forget
I'm
that.
trying to circle back to what I was saying,
Yes,
like,
please.
the whole, the dirt sheets and such that are like, "Oh, it really looks like they're gonna do an NXT versus TNA thing." Yes,
Yeah.
very clearly, they're going to do that
So
because all
apparently
the
at
T
Survivor Series, for whatever they're doing during Survivor Series time for NXT will involve next week is supposed to be this TNA invasion coming.
okay, here's my only point, right?
It's supposed to
The
happen during
only
that title versus title match, from what I'm hearing.
Yeah, there's gonna be an invasion, whatever. Here's the only thing that I would, and it's not even a point to say necessarily they did anything bad. This is just something I would have done a little bit differently. If you're gonna do this invasion thing, right?
Yes.
I would have had this segment, the Grayson Waller effect with Saints and Oba and then Trick coming in. I would have had that happen the week before, and then had the title versus title match in Full Sail. For the reason that,
Okay.
okay, the performance center is the performance center. It is what it is. It's
Yeah.
NXT's new home and whatever.
But it's not.
Full Sail is still considered like NXT hallowed ground,
Yeah.
right?
Rightfully so.
So if you were gonna invade NXT, invade them while they're in the process of going home again. Like, the
Yeah.
nostalgia was up, the feelings were up, the vibes were up. Let's celebrate what the brand has done for a night. I'm sorry, I popped minute 1 of the show when they played the old entrance, old entrance music, the "Coming for You."
Yes.
It's
So
and
good.
it's just good. It's the only thing, and it's a nitpick on my part, and it's not gonna make it any better or any worse. But if they had done the invasion in Full Sail, for those of us that were there for, rock and roll, black and gold NXT, that would have meant something. That would have resonated.
Yeah, that was
Now,
important to us. And
they use that to set it up instead. It's gonna happen next week. There's gonna be an invasion. They're gonna do a big thing. I almost don't want it to be in line with Survivor Series. It's kind of a big deal.
yeah, but I say that I think
I
it's going to be like the same weekend kind of thing. I know what you're saying, but
Yeah. No,
yeah.
but I don't even want it to share. We remember when, like,
Yeah, you want it
every
to hold its
takeover
own.
when every takeover was associated with, like, a WrestleMania weekend or a Survivor Series weekend or whatever, and then I think it was Portland, the last takeover you and I previewed
Yes.
before everything went to shit,
Yes.
and it was the whole fact that, like,
I
we're
couldn't
not
remember that to save
pairing
my
it.
life.
We but we made a big deal out of it at the time, and I think
Yeah,
we were just kinda going, what are they doing?"
yeah,
But it was the whole, like, we're not tacking it onto a WWE show, you're getting your own weekend
yeah,
because
as it should
we
be.
think you can, right? If they're doing this, if they're actually pulling the trigger on NXT versus TNA, I kinda wish it was on its own weekend.
I kind of do too, and I don't blame you for thinking that.
I think this is because
I
NXT
think it's going
hasn't
to
had the
play
hugest.
into Bound for Glory, which plays into Halloween
Mm,
Havoc. I think it's going to bounce back and forth, and what it's going to do is lead to a rivalry, I believe, with an
yeah.
announcement heading into the CW network. Like that's my true guess with this.
My only thing is there's 2 ways that they can go with it, like, because they've already talked on screen about the working relationship that they have,
Yeah.
so playing it off as, "Oh my god, I can't believe they're here,"
Yes.
doesn't really
Doesn't.
work.
Well,
So
I
you
can't
could
believe
have
everybody's here. Like, why? I can't believe everybody's coming down
Yeah,
to the ring and wrecking shop. Like that works, but they
but
just
if you
have to
get
be
my
careful about it. I get it. Like they can't. They can't. It's
when
not really. You can't be a surprise anymore. Like we expect
no,
somebody to
no, oh,
show
I
up.
don't mean I don't mean a surprise, but, like, when, Survivor Series was brand versus brand, right?
Yeah.
Whoever was the GM, like, now it would be Nick Aldis and Adam Pearce, would be
Hmm.
leading the charge to get the other show, right? But what's it called? Ava and Shawn Michaels and Santino
And
Marella
Tantino.
and
Yeah.
Carlos Silva have all spoken so openly about how cool this relationship is.
Yeah.
I'd kind of like to see it where both sides are like, "Okay, we're really trying to keep this under wraps. You keep your guys in check, we'll keep our guys in check," and just have the wrestlers be like, "No, this is bullshit."
Yeah.
Rather than, okay, all of a sudden, out comes Santino with his, like, red and yellow captain's shirt
Yeah.
because
And he's just
it
challenging
wouldn't
you.
seem genuine.
Exactly. No, I
Like, it
genuinely
would
think it's going to be a lot more to it than just that. I don't think it's going to be like a silly just challenge. Somebody said prospectively, and just not a guarantee, but they said that with one of the things being discussed allegedly, like always, is that it's supposed to do with something with a promise in like a TV contract, and the guys retired on the other side. Guys, I mean, no talent. of being strung along, and they realize they're just
Yeah.
being used by WWE and NXT for content and whatnot. They're not getting anything in return. They're champions over here, and I'm like, yeah, it wouldn't be the worst thing. They can do it. Like as time goes on, they're tired of it, and they can just show a
But,
few
like, the
vignettes
whole
for the
thing about, like
backstage. But
the whole thing about TNA and the whole, "Oh, we're just being used, they're all pawns for WWE."
yeah,
Yes, that's the storyline.
yes, it's
People have
not.
been saying that people have been saying that that's the real thing. In real like, okay, I can't believe they jumped the gun with the ladies title and putting it on Ash by Elegance, which I'm happy for her. But
Yeah.
I was so sure that they were gonna like TNA as a side were gonna get all their gold back at Bound for Glory, and that was gonna be the glory moment,
Hmm.
if you can see what I mean.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think it's gonna be really cool. I think like NXT, as much as we love it, gotta look at the reality side of it as well. They don't get the same audiences that takeovers used to get.
Yeah.
They
It's
gotta they
just
gotta
not.
figure something out, right? At the same time, the people that do go really love it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And part
Rightfully so.
and mixing those fans in with TNA fans, and I think you and I said this ages ago, it's not the worst thing in the world to get some TNA fans in there,
Yeah. No, not at
because
all.
if you're still sticking with TNA at this point, think about all the stuff that they've stayed through.
Yeah. Wrestling
Like,
fans
I think
love wrestling and they're
no,
loyal
no, but
usually.
TNA fans specifically have stuck with
Yes.
it through some shit.
Through thick and thin. Is what I'm saying. Wrestling fans are extremely loyal. And even that,
So,
they've really like defended
yeah,
them through
yeah.
some hellish and hellacious times.
So think of the like dyed in the wool, like rock hard TNA fans,
Yeah.
and now we've whittled down the NXT fans to the true like true blue NXT fans. You put those two fan bases together, and sort of not in a real way, like not like the WWE tried to make the invasion a real thing, but sort of do it where like, okay, we're all in on the joke. We're all gonna wear our own team's jersey for the night. Yeah, like inspire that type of attitude with the fans and whatnot.
Yeah. That'd
That
be great.
it could be big and it could be loud.
Would be fun too.
I think it's gonna be a loud show.
I think so. I think
And
you're onto
the
it.
the the accusation is gonna be, "Oh, well, they're just copying, like, Worlds Collide," or not Worlds Collide, they're just copying Forbidden Door and whatever, and, like, okay,
Yeah. What do you expect
Forbidden
here?
Door as a concept isn't a horrible concept,
No. It's a very
but
good, but they've been doing that forever. Worlds Collide has been there for Forbidden Door, you know?
yeah. Well, Worlds Collide before this, before the AAA thing, and they kinda brought Worlds Collide back, Worlds Collide was just WWE's brands fighting each other. It was sort of an extension of the Survivor Series, bragging rights type of idea. But a
Yeah.
genuine, like, "Oh, TNA is just their puppets." But no, TNA still belongs to Anthem. As much as you think, "Oh, they're in WWE's pocket," like, they're an entity unto themselves. They've survived this long
Yeah,
before
exactly.
WWE got in bed with them. And yes, the bitter side of me is gonna come out. I hope the idea of WWE helping them get a TV deal and slapping them on Wednesdays is true. I do.